Believe and receive. No doubting, no wavering, absolute faith. Steadfast. Steadfast in your yoga, steadfast in your deep breathing. Find that and you will be at peace. Isn't that what we all want? That's what you want. That's what I want. I'm Jan. Welcome to your yoga. This is 316 Yoga. This is where you do what's right for your body. That's an obvious statement, right? Or maybe not so obvious. Bottom of the screen says, do what's right for your body. Always do what's right for your body. If something hurts, back out of it. Don't do it, because this is our month of seeking peace and living in peace in our bodies, in our soul, and in our minds. It all sounds good and it is all attainable. I hope you find this peace on your mat. This is a 1 hour long practice. It's a strength and mobility, it's a flexibility and mobility practice, and you will also build some strength. But we have lots of different practices. We practice live together every single day of the week. Come and join us. Come and join us. If you can only stick around for 10 minutes, that's fine. Do what you can with what you've got. Let all expectations go. And you know what? It's just yoga. Don't sweat it. Just have fun. A word I'd like you to think about as you practice today is growth. Growth. Everybody wants to grow, right? Growth means becoming. It means changing. It means evolving. It means developing. All that good stuff. And it means reaching your potential. There's a lot of potential inside you. You need to tap into that. You know, don't retire from your body. Rewire your life and just get moving. Just get moving and tell yourself, I can do this. I'm going to grow. I'm going to change for the better. All right. Like I said, it's a 1 hour long practice. Do what you can with what you got. Even if you're doing 10%, that's huge. It really is. Okay, we're going to use props. We use props all the time. If you don't have these props, go buy them, because you're going to come back tomorrow and the next day and the next day, because you're going to have so much fun. All right, 2 yoga blocks. They're great to have. You can also get the half height blocks, which are a little bit smaller as you evolve and grow in your practice. A strap, a yoga strap. We are going to use it today. If you don't have one, you could have a belt from your robe. That would work too. But the strap usually comes with the blocks when you buy them. Have some water, because we all need to stay more hydrated. An eye shade, a little towel. The towel is great and versatile. It can go under your knees in our lunges, or you can use it to cover your eyes if you don't have an eye shade yet. To cover your eyes in your final Shavasana pose. It's great to block out the light. Okay, come on up to standing. Let's lock a stress number in. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, where are you today? Are you stressed out? What are you thinking? How are you feeling? Lock that stress number in. You can have a counter nearby by choice or not. You can have a counter nearby. You can have a chair nearby for your balance. It's all good. First thing we do is, after you've got that stress number locked in, just be quick about it. 1 to 5, 1 to 10, where are you right now, stress-wise, as you do that little inventory of your body? Let's take that confidence stance. I really like this. Spread your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Place your hands on your hips. Shoulders, give them a wiggle. Send them back and down. Chest is lifted. Stand in great confidence. Pick up some space. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Sigh out the tension through your mouth. All right, you're standing here confidently. Your chest is lifted, believing in yourself. Believe to receive. You can do this practice. Let's start to come up onto the balls of our feet. Come on up a little bit or a lot with the assistance of your counter or a chair. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Your breathing is so important in your yoga. Deep breaths really oxygenate your body. Get your blood flowing. Breathe in and out. Make that sound. You're at home. You're not in a studio. Nobody's looking. Maybe your dog is, but that's okay. Breathe in. Audibly breathe out. Come up higher onto your toes. Maybe challenge yourself a little bit and stay up on the balls of your feet. Keep your heel right behind your toes. Try not to waver and shake in your ankles. We're going to strengthen our foundation. Ankles. That's going to be your homework. Ankles is living our life, our yoga off of our mat today. All right, come on down to your heels. Give your toes a wiggle as you lift them up. Plant your feet comfortably. Let's pick some apples. Let's get some cross-body movements going. They're good for your brain. Lift your right arm to the left side of your room, or your left arm to the right. It's up to you. Then the other side. So your arms are reaching across your body. Lift the foot up, lift the heel up that's on the side that you're reaching, like you're trying to pick an apple that's just a wee bit too far away. Breathe. Remember to breathe. Cross-body movements are great for your brain. You're doing your stretching on your side. You're getting that lateral flexion, that sideways movement of your spine going. Believe it or not, today We've got 46 poses that we're going to go through. Can you believe there are that many? It goes by fast. What's kind of fun is after the practice is to scrub through and go really fast through the practice and see how many different ways you move your body. Pretty impressive. All right, so you're picking the apples. Let's finish here. Hands to your low back, palms face down, elbows squeeze toward your spine. Push your belly forward. Gaze up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, or look higher overhead. So you're taking a little back bend here, but emphasize more the chest lifting as opposed to going backwards. All right? Let's do the opposite. Hinge forward. Hinge forward. Take this forward fold. Fingers reach toward the earth. They don't have to touch the earth. This is just the first forward fold of our practice. Little bend in your knees feels good. Try it. Look to your toes or your ankles or your knees or up toward your belly button. Shake your neck, loosen it up, let it go. Slowly, with control, stack your spine up one vertebra at a time. Keep your chin to your chest until you rise on up. Chin away from the chest, there you go. Let's do some big arm circles. Big arm circles to the back of the room. They can be as big as you like. Don't have to be huge. You move your shoulders, get them awakened any way that works for you. Add in the knees. As the hands come down, bend the knees. Arms go up, knees straighten. So just wake up your knees. Get them moving. Hello to Stan, Lori, Esther, Betty. Happy birthday, Pam. And to Tammy. How are you? Breathe. Hey, happy birthday. There you go. You didn't tell me it was your birthday. Circle your arms to the back of the room. Nice big arm circles. How's it feeling? Knees feel good? Yes, they do. Even if you're seated in a chair. Do the arm circles. Come on, you gotta move, you know it. All right, come on back up to standing. Hands to prayer center. Close your eyes. Oh, my heart's beating already. Close your eyes. Root into the earth. Hands in prayer. This pose is called Samastitihi. We've been talking about mantras. We've been talking about the little positive affirmation statement you say in your head. Create one. For today, what is it? I am strong. Maybe it's I am flexible. Maybe it's I am mobile. Maybe it's I am here. Breathe. I am growing. Breathe. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Sigh it out. Remember that mantra. Come back to it as you practice. Arms down by your sides. Lengthen up through your spine. Big coat swing. Think like you're a child in a coat whose sleeves are hanging way down low, and start to twist from side to side. As you twist from side to side, look over one shoulder, then the other. Use your eyes. Really try to move your eyes. Look way over your shoulder. Twist. Arms are heavy, down by your side, nice and loose and free as you breathe. Maybe you feel better if you put a little space between your feet. Breathe. And as you're ready, start to slow it on down. As you slow it on down, come back to the midline. Adjust your feet. Let's do ragdoll pose. All right, so hinge forward. Hello, Liz. I'm glad you're here. Got my Florida peeps. Life is good. All right, for your ragdoll pose, you're going to hinge forward. Toe heel your feet, hip width distance. That's 2 fist widths. Hands to opposite elbow creases. Gaze down toward your ankles. Maybe look up toward your knees, or try to take the look up toward your belly button. Bend in the knees or not. You decide what feels super good here. Give your bottom a wiggle and then start to sway gently from side to side. Elbow back toward one knee, other elbow back toward the other knee. Ragdoll pose. Oh, feels great. I hope it feels great for you. Doesn't matter how far over you are. Feel what you feel. What you wish to feel here is the goodness in the low back. The stretching out and decompression of your low back. Ragdoll pose. Come back to the midline of your body. Place your hands on your mat. Come on down to a child's pose. Let's take the child's pose, if you can today. Let's take it with our knees a little wider than our hips and our big toes together. If you prefer to take the alternative ways that we sometimes do, please go ahead and do that. But we're going to work into some other poses today, and this is a good starting point. Sink your hips back towards your heels. You can introduce a block if you want to, and bring it on up to the top of your mat or under your chest or your forehead, wherever you like. Sink on down. Put your belly between your thighs. Arms reach long to the top of your mat. Try to work your forehead down to your block or to your mat. Maybe you place your hands on your block
Just get more into the shoulders and settle in here. All right, this is your child's pose. It's called Balasana. We usually start in this practice because this is where you just come to your peace on your mat. Let the outside world go and just realize you got this cool little space here. Nobody's going to bug you for the next hour, and you are focusing inward. One of the best ways to do that is with your breath. Close your lips and breathe deeply in and out of your nose. If it doesn't work, don't do it. Breathe any way you like, but just try to keep your breaths big. Nice full inhales. In this child's pose, think of your lungs expanding out your back, out to the sides of the room. Breathe. Exhale. Think of shrinking your belly button to your spine as you lower into and get deeper into the exhale. Come back to your child's pose anytime you like in your practice. It's your practice. You're doing it your way. What I'm going to do is go between this child's pose to a wide-legged child's pose, to a tadpole pose, to a full frog. So all you need to do, if you want, is work your knees a little further apart. Keep your big toes touching. Keep the head down. Open up the knees wider, and if you're on your mat in its typical orientation, maybe you want to turn 90 degrees so you can keep your knees comfortable on your mat. Spread your knees as wide as feels right. Just take a breaths here and play with it. Breathe in, breathe out. Unclench your jaws if your teeth are touching. Remember, no stress. Breathe. And then work your toes apart from each other as you bring your shins a little more parallel to the sides of your mat. How's that? Ooh, that's intense in the inner thighs. Sink your hips back more. Think of your tailbone going a little further to the bottom of your mat as you reach to the top of your mat. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe you want to stay longer here. Maybe you're enjoying this challenge, this growth. Painful, back out of it. Don't do it. If it's just uncomfortable, breathe through it. Grow through it. You got it. All right, time to come out of this if you want to. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Bring your knees back in. Come to a neutral tabletop position. In your neutral tabletop position, just take one cycle of cat-cow. Tuck your chin to your chest, tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky. Feel your shoulders really press into the earth with your hands and your feet. Then take it to cow. Lift your tailbone and the crown of your head. There you go, you've evened out. Now let's come sit in a thunderbolt pose. All right, so your thunderbolt pose, two ways to take it. You can sit on the tops of your feet, have the tops of your feet and your plantar flexion on your mat, or come into a dorsiflexion. Draw the toes toward your shins and hold here. Hey, this is toes pose, right? You can stay here, or you can take it back to the classic thunderbolt pose on the tops of your feet. We're loving on the ankles today, as if you probably guessed that already. All right, so stay in either your toes pose, we're going to call it thunderbolt with the toes tucked, or bring it on down. You decide. We're going to do some neck circles. Neck circles, if they feel good for you, go for it. So circle your neck. If it doesn't feel good for you, just lengthen up through the crown of your head. Shoulders are soft and away from your ears. Don't think of your shoulders as earrings. Have them really far away. Circle your neck, however feels good for you in both directions. Or lengthen up through the crown of your head. All right, come back to stillness at the midline of your body. Tuck your chin to your chest, and then lift your chin up to the sky. Chin to chest, chin to the sky. Head back to a normal, natural, neutral position. Turn your head right to left, left to right. Any of these combinations that feel super on you, go for it. And if you're in your toes pose and you want to change it, go down to the tops of your feet for your classic thunderbolt. It's all good. All right, when you're ready, I am going to come onto the tops of my feet in a classic thunderbolt pose now. I'm going to take my right hand and place it on my left shoulder. Then I'm going to slip it down a little bit like I'm about to say the Pledge of Allegiance. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my right ear toward my right shoulder
and breathe here. Should be enjoying a nice big stretch along the left side of your neck. Really push that right hand into your left shoulder here. And then finish, head back slowly to the midline. Release your hands to your knees. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. We got another side to do. Lift your left hand. Place it on your shoulders. If you're about to say the Pledge of Allegiance, slip the hand down a little bit and just push there. And then let the left ear come to the left shoulder and feel a good stretch in the right side of your neck. Breathe in, breathe out. You know how far to take it. Take it to what feels good. Take it to what feels right. Deep breath in and deep breath out. All right, let's finish. Head back to the midline. Let's go back into a toes pose. This is your dorsiflexion. Tuck your toes towards your shins. Find your 2 blocks because we're going to flow this today. So have a seat. You've been doing this just a little while ago. We've been alternating between your thunderbolt and your toes pose. So right now, toes pose. Toes are tucked toward the shins. Break up the fascia in the feet. Great for your plantar fasciitis, Michelle. Hang with it. Stick with it. All right, let's take it now into a ankle pose. Bring the tops of your feet onto your mat. Have your blocks by your sides to bring the ground up to you, and lean on back into your ankles. All right, breathe. We started with the ankles. We started with the feet. Your feet are your foundation, so important to keep them flexible and mobile. All right, come on back. Toes pose. Use your blocks. Press into your feet. Sit on back, shoulders over your hips. Maybe you take it to what feels good. It's more intense to have your shoulders back. Breathe, and then take it between your ankle pose and your toes pose. Pay attention to you. Pay attention to you. What feels right today? Does the ankle pose feel better? Do you need to spend a little more time hanging out there? Or are you feeling it in the goodness in the toes pose? No stress, no hurry. These blocks are great for your balance. Hang on. I'm going to take it one more time into my ankle pose. And then I'm going to get kind of cocky, and I'm going to lean far back, and I'm going to remove my blocks and find my balance on the tops of my feet. Do it if you want. Don't if you don't. Hands to birth center. Breathe. Find your balance to what feels good for you. And if you don't have the blocks, hands can be kickstands, right? That feels really awesome. I'm going to come back and do toes pose later after this practice. All right, come on to a neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch them. Tap the tops of your feet out on your mat and your ankles. Circle them in one direction, circle them in the other direction. All right, cat-cow. We did this a moment ago. Let's do it again. We're going to take it even further. From a neutral tabletop, shoulders over wrists, knees under hips. Lengthen through your spine as you push the earth away with both your feet and your hands. Tuck your chin to your chest as you exhale. Arch your back like a Halloween cat. Breathe. Then take it to cow, tailbone and crown of the head lift. So remember, we moved our neck to touch our chin to our chest. And then we lifted it up when we were in that thunderbolt pose, moved our neck all kinds of different ways. Here we are doing it again. Cat pose, chin to chest, tailbone under, arch the back. Inhale, cow, tailbone lifts, crown of the head lifts, lots of mobility in your neck. You've got it. All right, neutral tabletop. Right leg extends. We're going to do this a couple times. Plant the ball of the foot onto the mat. Push into that right leg, feeling the stretch in the right leg. Lift the right leg up, cross it over the midline of the body. Squeeze in your upper inner thighs. Place the top of your right foot down on the left side of your body. Look over your left shoulder. Look back to your feet, to your knee, to your bottom. How far do you take it? Lateral flexion of your spine. This right leg that's long, sweep it around, and this time bring the sole of the foot down on the mat. Lift your right arm up to the sky. Look up to the right arm. Open up. You got it. Right hand plants. Left knee comes back to meet the right. Other side. Left leg extends. Ball of the foot on the mat. Push into the earth. Left leg crosses the midline of the body. Squeeze in the upper inner thighs. Press equally into both hands. Gaze over the right shoulder. Foot, ankle, knee, bottom. Left leg, sweep it around. Plant the foot onto the mat. Lift your arms up to the sky. Look up. Breathe. Left hand comes down. Knees meet. Let's do it again. Right leg extends. Press into the ball of the foot.
Right leg crosses the midline. Look over your left shoulder. Right leg sweeps around. Plant the sole of the foot on the earth. Look up. Reach up. Breathe up. Hand comes down. Knee meets knee. Left leg extends. Ball of the foot is pressed. Cross over the midline. Look over the right shoulder. Left leg sweeps around. Plant the foot. Left arm lifts. Look up. Do it again on your own. Back to the right side. Lengthen. Cross. Look back. Sweep. Open up. Plant the hand. Knee meets knee. Left leg extends. Stretch. Cross the midline. Lateral flexion. Left leg sweeps open and plants. Left arm goes up. Breathe. Come back to your neutral tabletop. Nice job. All right, let's do a plank. You knew it was coming. We set a timer for 1 minute. Lots of ways to take your plank. I showed you during the countdown. Kind of give you a little preview during the countdown, so don't miss it. All right, here's what you could do. Get set up for your plank if you're used to doing it. If you're really super new to planks, take it on your back. Lift the blocks up, place your hands on the blocks, and imagine that you're doing a plank. But pull your shoulders back. You're going to push the blocks up, but you want your shoulders back and down. You want to be strong and secure and concise here. So you can take it that way. You know the other ways to take it. You want to evolve, you want to grow, you want to do something a little different from your neutral tabletop. Knees a little spread, everybody's different. Spread them to what's comfortable. Hinge forward in the arms. Shoulders over wrists, little gecko fingers, suction cup into the mat to take some tension off of your wrists. You can stay here. Another variation would be to drop to your forearms, elbows under knees, and hold elbows under shoulders. Knees can be on the ground or knees can be lifted. Or you can take the classic high plank, shoulders over wrists, legs long, and breathe. I'm going to take a high plank today on the blocks. All right, let's get ready. Prepare to do the plank variation that you like. I'm setting a 1 minute timer just for you to measure your progress if you wish to. You don't have to. Let's go into our plank and let's set the timer now. Let's go. All right, 1 minute. Push into the earth. You're breathing, right? You're breathing, yes. Everything is engaged here. This is a pose where everything is tight and concise, and you are 20 seconds in, just about. All right, so press into your blocks or your mat, whatever you got. Hold it here. Core is strong. You're really aligned. Your shoulders are over your wrists. Guess what? You are more than halfway there. You want to take a break? If you're in your high plank, you can send your hips high to a down dog. Any variation you're in, you could always drop to your knees and hold it there. We've got 20 seconds to go. Give it a big push. Arms are strong. Breathe. Lengthen through the crown of your head and your tailbone. We've got 10 seconds to go. Hold on here. Stay strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Come on down. Breathe. How did you do? Take a drink of water. Your plank is probably one of the overall best poses you can do. Try. If you're on your back, I think just about everybody can do it on their back. It's a start. You got to start to grow, right? All right. Core. Let's do it. Bring your strap up near your shoulders. Come on down to your back. But you know how to get onto your back. We say this all the time, with control. You are in control of so many things. The growth is in the little things, like how you come down to your reclined position. Hands to prayer center, always a good place to be. Lengthen up to the crown of your head. Recline. Recline, but here in your reclining, take it under control. You are in control. Don't clunk all the way down. Maybe hold it somewhere along the way. Maybe come back up and then come back again. Recline. Take it slowly, in control, with control. You just did a great plank pose. You've got control of your core. All right, let's do our Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Knees open wide, soles of the feet touch.
Fingertips lightly to your temples. As you exhale the air out of your mouth here, come on up. Inhale, come on down. Lift and lower. Lift on the exhales. Inhale, come on down. Elbows and knees are open wide. You've got it. Stay strong. Just do it. All right, finish. Legs go long on your mat. When you're ready with the legs, bend the right leg, draw it up toward your chest. Bend the left leg, draw it up toward your chest. Alternate. Keep it going. You can keep it going this way, or peel your shoulders on up, and maybe keep your feet up. Hug the right knee in, then the left leg. Breathe. Breathe. You can do this. Oh, yes, you can. You're strong. Hug the knee in. While you're hugging the knee in, the other leg extends long. Breathe. Love on your hips. Now let's do both legs. Extend both legs and then hug them in. Shoulders can be down if you want, or up. Arms can reach toward your feet and then draw them back up overhead when the knees come in. Arms reach toward your feet. Arms reach overhead. Reach toward the feet and overhead. Breathe. You got this. Legs are long, arms are long. Arms reach overhead, knees are bent. Breathe. Strong core. You got it. And then let's finish. Come on down, stick pose. You know this one. Legs are long, arms go high overhead, touch your palms. Whew. Give it a wiggle. You look like a big number one, because that's you, number one. That's the first person you should be taking care of the health of the most. Does that make sense? All right, let's find our strap. Place your strap underneath your feet. I mentioned this the other day. This is an option to do your boat pose. Center of the strap is under your feet. Maybe it's the center of your belt. Breathe. Let your heels come down. Let your shoulders lift up. Try not to have momentum bring you up. Try to have your strength, your control of your core bring you up, and then blossom out of your chest. Lift out of your chest. Grow out of the chest. Put a smile on your face. Hug your elbows in. Shoulders are relaxed. Find your balance as if you were in a recliner. The other day we had a quote. Mother Teresa said, "Peace begins with a smile." That's a beautiful thing, isn't it? It softens a lot of potentially negative situations to put that smile on your face. All right, lean on back. Legs are extended. Heels are driving to the front of the room. Elbows hugged in. You are holding strong in your boat pose with your strap. All right, let's finish. Heels come down. Take a little forward fold. Walk your hands down your strap. Woo, fold forward. Feel that goodness in your low back like we had when we did our ragdoll pose. Bring your nose, your chin, your forehead toward your knees. You got the strap? Maybe give it a little extra pull. And then finish. Come on up. Remove the strap. We're going to do some balancing, but we're going to get here in a fun way. All right, balancing is so important, especially as we get older, and you want to get older. Consider the alternative, right? But you want to stay healthy as you get older. You want to stay strong, you want to stay mobile, and you want to stay flexible, and that's what we're working on. And you want good balance. All right, come on. Come to a neutral tabletop. Let's take it in layers. All right, so we're going to come into a downward facing dog. Tuck your toes towards your shins. You know that. That's a dorsiflexion. And then send your hips high. Think of a string on your tailbone, lifting your hips high. All right, press into your hands. They're shoulder width distance apart. Feet are hip width distance apart. Elevate your feet a little bit and then start to pedal them out, bringing one heel closer to the earth than the other. Your neck should be good and loose. Shake it out as you look back to your ankles. Your knees are up towards your belly button. Head is hanging heavy. You don't want the tension in the neck. All right, working on the ankles. See if you like this. Your feet. Flip your feet so that the tops of your feet are on your mat. Breathe. All right, the tops of your feet, so you're on the tops of your toes on your mat in a downward facing dog. Let's hinge forward into a high plank. And then press the earth away. Push the earth away. Come back into your down dog, tailbone high. How does it feel on the feet? How does it feel on the toes? If there's pain, don't do it. If it's just uncomfortable, breathe through it. Maybe it doesn't bother you at all. Breathe, hold your high plank, send your hips high. Down dog on the toes. Breathe. I'm going to do it one more time. You do it
however many more times you want, hinging forward. Gecko your fingers, little suction cups on the tips of your fingers. Send your hips high. Neck is loose. Breathe. All right, bring your feet back to a natural position and then pedal your heels. Natural position. That's with the balls of your feet on your mat. I hope that's natural for you. Hope the other one isn't natural. But it feels good to switch it out, to change it up, to stretch the feet. Still your feet. Walk your hands to meet your feet or your feet to meet your hands. Let's do the balancing. All right, roll your spine up. One vertebra at a time. Come on up. Thank yourself. Put your hands together in prayer. Samastitihi, your mantra. What was it? Come back to it. Eyes are closed. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let it go. You are strong. You got this. All right, blink your eyes open. Let's do tree pose. You can have your chair, your counter nearby. Root into one foot. Place the other foot onto the inside of your calf or your thigh, or kickstand it. Totally fine. Do what's right for you. Hands to prayer center. Grow your branches. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Now, today, let's still our branches. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Kind of grow, lift out of the chest. Ooh, I just got taller. And then as you're looking at where the ceiling and the wall meet, try to take a long blink or close your eyes for a second or two. Find your balance. Hands back to prayer center. Right knee to the front of the room. Right foot meets left, other side. Bend in the opposite knee. Open up that knee to the side of the room. Root solidly into the foundational foot. Lift the leg up to wherever is comfortable for you. Remember, you don't put it on the knee. You can have your hands on your hips. Stay at the counter. Push the foot into the leg into the foot. You are balancing right here. Don't sell yourself short. Hands to prayer center. Take it further if you want. Sway the branches. Your arms are the branches. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Still your hands. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Be stable in that standing foot. As you're ready, if you're ready, try to close your eyes. Take a long blink. No big deal. If you fall out, get right back in. Hands to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Left foot meets right. You have got it. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it go. Take a big step forward with your right foot. Right foot is forward. Hinge the weight into the right foot. So remember, like picking apples, how you lift it off of the one foot onto the ball of onto the ball of that foot. Do the same thing here. Maybe back and forth, plant the heel and lift up onto the ball of the foot. And as you're ready, come on up to the ball of the foot. Hands can be on your hips or on your chair. We're going to hinge forward. We're going to take toppling tree. So your little bend in your right knee, take your hands, interlace them behind your back. So your thumb is pressed into your low back. Lift your left leg up, then work your interlaced fingers off of your low back, up the back wall. Look down to your foot, your ankle, your belly button, whatever works. Arms lift high, back leg lifts high. Hold it. Finish. Left foot meets right. Keep your arms right where they are and come back up to standing. Let your interlaced fingers work down toward the earth. Open up through the shoulders. Lift here. Breathe. I'm going to step my right leg back. That was the one that was in front before. I'm going to step my left leg a little further forward. Same thing. I'm going to play with it a little bit, coming up onto the ball of the foot, then planting on the heel. Up on the ball of the foot and plant on the heel. Have your ankles cracked yet? Oh my goodness. All right. Lift up and back. Remember, drive your shoulders back and down. You are tight in the chest. You're feeling it. It feels awesome. All right, as you're ready, hinge forward into the left leg. Little bend in the left knee. Play with lifting the right leg up a little bit or a lot. Gaze down to the top of your mat, to your left foot, to your knee, to your navel. Interlaced fingers work up, leg works up to the sky. Breathe. Find your balance. If you fall out, get right back in. End on a positive note. Finish up. Come to standing. Right foot meets left. Drive your interlaced fingers down. Shoulders back and down. Breathe. Release your interlaced fingers. Soften and wiggle and move your shoulders. Hike them up to your ears. Send them back. Hike them up.
send them back. Nice job. All right, you will look taller with this next pose. You can do it on the wall. It's harder on the wall. Or you can do it freestanding. Bring your arms into the shape of the letter Y for the word U. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room or up against the wall. If you're up against the wall, it's like, oh, that wall is farther back than I thought. Oh my goodness. Open it up. U. Let's do a big W in the arms. Will. Drive the elbows down. 2 L's, forward and back, hugging the elbows in. For the word look, tee out your arms for the word taller, and then push the backs of your hands into the back wall or pulse your hands if you're freestanding. You will look taller. Let's do it again. Big letter Y. Really accentuate this. Even spread your fingers wide, pressing the backs of your hands to the back wall. Will. Look. T for taller. Pulse, pulse, pulse. And then finish. Hands down by your sides. Oh my goodness, don't you feel like you've grown? Growth, that's the key. You've grown 2 inches in height, right? Shoulders are back. And you get good posture by doing this pose. You're not rounded shoulders. Oh my gosh, how many people are like this? Doesn't this look age you? If you're looking down at your phone, you look old. Send the shoulders back. Stand up nice and straight. Your You Will Look Taller pose will do that for you. Breathe. Don't you feel great? All right, that's a good balancing pose. Let's come into a lunge. Take your right foot, send it far forward, and then keep your hands on your hips today. Come on down to your left knee, all the way down. Take it nice and slowly because you're in control. Right knee is over your right ankle. Find your 2 blocks, and we're going to do our lunge. We usually do this just about every day. So good to wake up the hips. Now send your left leg long onto your mat, top of the left foot on your mat. There's that plantar flexion. Press into your blocks, maybe lift a little higher. Maybe you can bring your shoulders over your hips. Interlace your fingers again and press your interlaced fingers into your right thigh. Think as you push into your right thigh with your strong arms, your knee is going to come forward of your ankle, and that's good and fine. Your back left leg is long. Now on that back left leg, you could slip a towel under the knee if that feels better. Just hold it here and breathe. Big breaths in and big breaths out. Big stretch in that left hip, isn't it? Soften in your glutes. Find a little more space in your left hip flexor. Breathe. Let's finish. To come back to both knees together. Left foot forward. Left knee over left ankle. Press into your blocks as you send your right leg long on your mat. Really find the length in that right leg. If I were with you, I'd come and I'd hold your ankle and I'd pull the back right ankle a little bit, gently, kindly, toward the back of the mat. Maybe you stay right here, hands on your blocks. Maybe you press your shoulders up a little bit higher. Breathe. Interlaced fingers, press into your left thigh. Think of just like pushing the skin more toward your left knee. Right leg is long and straight. Send your breath to your right hip flexor in the front. It actually is in front and wraps around the back, keeping you strong and stable. Breathe. I think sometimes when you get older, you think, oh, I don't need to work on strength. Oh, yes, you do. You need to work on that core. You need to do those planks, whatever variation you take. You need to work on strengthening your core to stay strong. All right, as we're ready, how are you doing? Let's come out of this. Nice big stretch there, right? Press into your blocks. Left knee meets right. Take it into a wide-legged child's pose. We did this to begin. Legs spread wide, big toes touch, hips go back. Even it out as you reach your hands forward. Big breath in, big breath out. Maybe you find that it's a little more comfortable now or a little more doable. Maybe work your knees a little wider. Maybe that's more doable. You know that you've got to do. You've got to move. If you want to get more flexible, you just got to move and you got to start. Work your toes apart, shins parallel to the sides of your mat. Sink your hips back. Every little bit of movement is good. You just got to do it. That's the hard part. So I reserve this space for you every single day for an hour on your mat to come do what we're doing so you can do what you want to do off of your mat. All right, let's come out of this. Finish up. Come on down to your back. Come on down to your back and bring your strap. Oh, bring your eye shade and your towel. Bring them up towards your shoulders. That's a good sign. It means we're almost done. All right, so you've got your strap nearby. Bend your knees.
Hands to prayer center. Come on down. Come all the way down and take a pentacle pose. Arms go high and spread. Legs go wide and spread. The capital letter X shape. Just a resetting posture. Maybe this is a good time to say your mantra to yourself. I am strong. I am growing. I got this. Breathe in, breathe out. If it doesn't feel good in your shoulders, you know, put a bend in them. You do what you can while you can. Breathe in, breathe out. Arms down by your sides, roll over onto your belly. Strengthen your spine. All right, I'm big into these interlaced hands today, so let's do locust pose. Bring the tops of your feet to your mat. Bring the tops of your feet to the edges of your mat. Bring your nose on down to the center of your mat. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Shoulders away from your ears. Interlace your fingers behind your low back. Thumbs are going to press into your low back. When you're ready, don't turn your neck. Lift on up through the shoulders. Lift your interlaced fingers away from your back. Maybe lift your legs up. Interlaced fingers work toward the back of the room. Hold here in your locust pose for as long as you like. It's not going to be very long, but just breathe. Lift a little higher. Hold, and then come on down. Come on down, arms by your sides. Breathe. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You've got it. Bend your elbows. Place your hands under your collarbones. Press on up through straightened arms. Think of widening through the hips as you come into your seal pose. Space there in your bottom. Breathe. You got it. You're strong. All right. Come on up. Come on back to a seated position. Remember, with control, hands together. Lengthen on up. Bend your knees this time. Soles of your feet are on your mat. You are lengthened up through the spine. Slowly recline. Slowly, take it slowly. It's your little secret. This is how you're working your core. You're in control as you come on down high. Come on down, all the way down. Once you're all the way down, let's do bridge pose. Bend your knees. Bridge pose. This one's a good one, isn't it? Remember the wonderful stretch we had in our lunge? You're going to feel it again in your hips at the same time. Arms down by your sides, palms face down. Press into your feet. Lift your hips on up. You know what helps get the hips up? Wiggling your shoulders closer to your spine. Put your arms back down by your sides. Lift your hips even higher. Breathe. So you get that same sensation in both hips at the same time. The lunge was a little more intense. This is a little less intense, but it's both hips at the same time. And it's kind of like when we do our pontoon pose. That's another pose. We'll do that another day. Come back and see what that's all about. All right, keep your hips lifted. You're strong. Come on, walk your feet. Your heels a little closer to your bottom. Push into your feet really good and hard. Breathe. Hold your bridge. Bridges are strong. Did you know bridges were built to withhold 6 times the estimated weight? So they're really, really strong. They're not going to fall. Just like you are good and strong. Your knees are over your ankles. You are lifting high in your bridge pose. Good and strong and properly aligned. Slowly, with control, let your spine come down. 1 vertebra at a time. All right, let's press on up. Press on up, seated position. Toes up toward the sky. Lift your arms up high too. Take this seated forward fold. All right, arms are lifted. Your body looks like the letter L for the word lovely, right? All right, reach your arms forward. Feel the goodness in your low back. Breathe. We come back to the low back a lot because the low back needs the love and attention. Reach, circle your ankles. Back to those ankles. Can't forget the foundation. Circle the ankles in the other direction. Still your feet. Squeeze your toes toward your sole of your foot. Reach. Release the toes up toward the sky. Give them a wiggle. Bring your hands down to your ankles, your calves. Hug the elbows in. Fold forward. Come on up to seated. Spread your legs wide. Find your 2 blocks. Blocks between your legs at whatever height speaks to you. Maybe you place your arms on the blocks, let it be. But your feet, don't ignore them. Send your toes up to the sky. When you're ready, if you're ready, adjust your blocks. Keep trying to go lower, lower, lower. How low can you go? Forearms to the blocks, maybe forehead to the blocks. Maybe remove a block or 2. Take this big stretch in the inner thighs. Soften in the shoulders, let it go. And then finish. Come on up.
Kind of quick, got to get through these 46 poses, right? All right, we did that. Let's come back down to our block. You got your strap nearby. Bend your knees. Remember bridge pose? That's starting position from bridge. Your feet are on your mat. Reclined pigeon, good for the hips. Send your right leg up to the sky and then bend the right knee. Bring the outside of the right ankle onto the top of the left thigh. Open up the right thigh, pressing the inner right thigh with your two hands so the outside of your right knee is going toward the bottom of your mat. I feel that in my hips. How about you? Maybe that's where you stay. All right, you can have your little towel that's up by your shoulders, right? You can lift your left knee up. Lift your left knee up. Maybe you don't need anything at all. Lift your left knee up and draw the left knee toward your chest. Feeling the big stretch in your right glutes. You could use your towel to make your arms longer, essentially. Bring the towel behind your right knee, low on the left, behind the left knee, low on the left thigh. Rebend the knee and then hug that towel in. You could also interlace your fingers behind the left knee and hug it in. As you're hugging it in, drive the outside of the right knee toward the front or toward the bottom of your mat. Breathe here, hold here, you're strong. Whenever we do our half pigeon pose, Ekapada Rajakapotasana, this is a fine alternative. If you don't like that pigeon pose on your knees, take this reclined pigeon. All right, I'm going to interlace my fingers now beneath the front of my left knee. So that's even more intense. Hold it here. Now your ankle, circle your ankle. Circle it around and around and around. The one on top. I guess you could do the straight leg too. Or not the straight leg, the left leg. Draw the right toes toward your right shin. Hold it here. Hug the left knee in. The right foot, move it a couple inches to the left. Intense pose here in your glutes. Place the left foot down, place the right foot down next to it. Let's do the same pose on the other side. Remember how it starts? Right foot stays down, left leg lifts, outside of the left ankle onto the right thigh. Press the inner left thigh open. Stay right here. Nobody's judging you. Maybe you stay here and just work the ankle around. Round and around and around. Great place to be. Maybe you lift the right knee up. And you just hang out here, thinking, I'm going to tee out my arms and just hang out here. It's all good. Maybe you take your hands or your towel, interlace them, or pull the towel behind the right knee. Rebend the right knee and hug it all in. Elbows are hugged in too. Drive the outside of the left knee toward the bottom of the mat. Hug and squeeze. How tight do you want to take it? Breathe. As you hollow out the belly, maybe you can squeeze that leg in even more. Interlaced fingers or the towel beneath the right knee on the outside of the knee, on the shin. Hold it here. Tight squeeze. Maybe circle the ankles. Draw the left toes toward your shin. Hug the right knee in even more. Let the left foot move a couple of inches to the right as you feel the intensity grow. And then finish. Right foot comes down, left foot comes down. Even it out. Nice bridge pose. Press into your feet. You don't have to take it too intensely. Just lift up through the thighs. Press the hands into your mat. Wiggle your shoulders closer together so your spine is, or your hips are nice and lifted. Maybe interlace your fingers behind your low back, and instead of pushing the thumbs into your bottom, this time press the pinkies into your mat. Finish. Hands come away from the spine. Roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. All right, left leg goes along. Right leg, place the center of the strap underneath the right leg. Think of an arc, a half circle above your body. Pull this right leg up, up, up overhead. Send the left leg long, long, long onto your mat. Draw the left toes towards your shin and let the calf of the left leg be on your mat. This right leg, hold on to the strap. Let it go from the left, let it go big toe down toward the earth as you roll onto your left hip. Hold the strap with your left hand. Bring it on up. Transfer the strap to your right hand and open up to the pinky edge side of the foot. You don't have to go all the way down to the earth. You know what is speaking to you today. Do what's right for you. Breathe. Gotta love the movements with the strap. I really like it in boat pose, and I really like it in this one too. All right, right leg, bring it back up to the sky. Draw the toes toward the shin. Give it a good tug. Using your strong core, lift your left leg up slowly, knowing that you are doing it, knowing that you're using your strong core to bring it up to meet the right foot. Left foot slips into the strap. Right leg slowly lowers down. Lower it slowly because you are in control. Once the heel touches down, draw the toes of the right leg toward the shin. Right calf is plugged in. Let's start to do the half circle on this side. You know, it doesn't matter if you do pinky first or big toe first. Doesn't matter how you hold the strap. Just open up. Breathe. My gaze is up toward the sky. And I'm just letting the leg do its thing in its half circle. Breathe. That's the most important part. Breathe. You feel refreshed when you take deep breaths. All right, I think we've evened out there, don't you? Let's bring the right leg back up, 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 nice and slowly to meet the left in the strap. Both feet are in the strap. Think of your toes going way overhead. Hold on to the strap with both hands. Stretch it out. Maybe a little bend in your knees feels good. Let's finish. All right, when you're ready, remove your strap. Bend your knees. Happy baby pose. Left hand under left knee, right hand under right knee. You've got that space in your hips. Put your belly in between your thighs. So think of your knees and your hip sockets coming out toward the armpits. Open them up. Real attractive pose. I know, but just you're doing it at home. No big deal. Rock a little bit from side to side. Circle your ankles in both directions. So many ways we can squeeze in these ankle circles, right? Bring your hands inside your ankles and hold it here. Pull the knees, pull the ankles, sending the knees closer to the armpits. Maybe you can reach your heels today. Draw the toes toward the shin. Happy baby is extending one leg up to the sky while holding on to the heel and then the other. Stretch it out. Find your happy baby pose. Maybe yours looks nothing like this. Maybe you're just moving your legs one at a time, hands on your hips. Then work your hands toward inside your knees. You know, just work it, work it, work it, and evolve and grow. All right, let's finish up with the happy baby. Send your legs long onto your mat. Take them slow, lower them down. You've got control. It's all about the control. Final Shavasana time. Find your eye shade or your little towel. Cover up. The eye shade is so nice because it's weighted. And you think, no big deal. Towel's good enough. Towel's fine in a pinch, but buy an eye shade. They're not very expensive. You can have someone make it for you. You can do a rice pillow thing. The weight is nice on the eye sockets. Send your heels a little to the edges of your mat. Cover your eyes. Arms down by your sides. Palms face up for growth and receptivity. Because you want to receive. You believe and you're going to receive. But there's always another way. If you want to feel more grounded, we all know that anything before it grows, it's got to start in the ground, right? If you want to feel more grounded, put your palms down. Maybe that's what you need today. Listen to your body and just do it. Pinky toes fall toward the edges of your mat. Feels pretty good to externally rotate the hips. Wiggle your shoulders a little closer to your spine. Sigh it out. Breathe it out. You did it. Eyes are closed. Forehead is soft. Shoulders, let them sink even more into the mat as you take a deep, deep exhale. Your arms are heavy, your legs are heavy. Final Shavasana is also called a corpse pose. And the idea behind this is that, you know, the old is gone, it's dead, and you are going to be reborn into a new creation thanks to your yoga. So don't forgo your Shavasana pose. Be at peace and breathe. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Your toes, your ankles, your fingers, start to wiggle them, especially the ankles. Come back to the ankles, your foundation. Circle the ankles, circle the wrists in both directions. Move the fingers, move the toes independently. Squeeze and scrunch your fingers and your toes to the palm and to the sole. And then open them super duper wide. On an inhale, reach high overhead and take that big good morning stretch that you take every morning before you get out of bed, because you're living your yoga off of your mat. Circle your ankles, move your feet, wiggle your fingers, stretch it out. Exhale, bend your knees, bend your elbows, and roll onto one side or the other. Onto that hip, that feels good. Bend the low arm, use your bicep as a pillow for your head. Even the top shoulder, soften in it. Remember how it felt when we did that Pledge of Allegiance-like pose? Soften that shoulder away from the ear. Take a deep breath in. This is your moment. This is your period of rebirth. And a big exhale. Let it all go. Come on up to a comfortable seated position. Be aware of how you get there. You can use your hands to push into your mat, or with control, no hands at all, lift on up to a comfortable seated position, whatever is comfortable for you today. Maybe you come back to that thunderbolt pose. Maybe you come back to toes pose. Hands to prayer center, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Big exhale, soften in your shoulders and relax the knees toward the earth. Blink your eyes open. You did it. Way to go. I'm impressed. We moved a lot today. Can you believe it? 46 poses, give or take, depending upon which variations you took. It's a lot, but you moved everything you've got, and that's what you got to do every single day. All right, all this month, we're living our yoga off of the mat, and I kind of hinted throughout the whole thing. This week, this day, this month, every time you sit down, and every time, you're sitting in a restaurant or sitting, on a bus or whatever, move your ankles. Move your ankles, circle your ankles. Nobody knows you're doing it. It's kind of like when we talked about tapping on the collarbone. Nobody knows you're moving your ankles. Circle your ankles, move your ankles, keep them strong, keep them flexible, keep them mobile. That's what we're all about. All right, have a great day, everybody. Stress number, it's a lot lower, right? Life is good. Remember the fruit of the Spirit and practice all of them. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love you guys. See you on your mats tomorrow. Don't quit. Stick with it. Make time for you. Love you.